All right, guys, here we go again. We have our Terran player from the team, Slayers. He couldn't take out July Zerg. Is he going to do any better this game? We're going to find out. He is Slayers BoxeR. And down at the bottom left, we have our Protoss player all the way from Sweden, living in the MVP house now, joined with Complexity very recently. He is NaNiwa. And you know what, Moletrap?
What's that?
Whenever I think of Arena of Legends, I just think of like our Observer Startail Legend. I think of like 50 of him in like a gladiatorial arena, like fighting with spears and nets and things like that. I don't know why. That's what I think of. I don't know. Can't explain it.
I can't even imagine that. Legend, Startail Legend. He's kind of a very, I would say he's a little bit mild-mannered kind of a guy. I don't see him fighting with nets and spears.
He doesn't seem like the type to be a gladiator in an arena.
No, not quite.
No. But he's a fierce observer, that's for sure.
That he is.
That's right, and he knows how to pick K-pop videos too. We've all found out. So, yeah, he's the one observing our games right now. Actually,
that's
he's
how
moving
legendary.
The camera that you're seeing.
That's how legendary this arena is.
That's actually the legend.
A guy
of the
named
title.
Legend is actually observing.
That's right. Well, the S is a mistake. It's actually Arena of Legend.
That's right.
It's his tournament. So now you know.
By the way, guys,
this is a typo. Go ahead.
If you do enjoy this stuff, if you're having a lot of fun watching this tournament, as I have been, make sure you tell your friends, because if you want to see more content like this, then the best way to have that happen is to tell your friends to pay. It's only $5. You know, you can skip your latte for one day. You can make a sandwich instead of having a burger at the fast food place, and that's about all it takes to pay for this tournament. And there's a lot of really, really cool games with some of the most famous players in the game. So tell your friends to go ahead and sign up for this as well. It'll encourage us to be able to do more tournaments like this in the future. Marine popping out.
Run probe out. Yeah, this tournament's awesome, man. I mean, it's an even distribution of races. It's some of the best players we've seen in StarCraft 2 yet. So you get a lot of awesome matchups. Like, I mean, where else do you get to see NaNiwa versus BoxeR? That's awesome. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm super excited to see what we're going to see. A factory going down for BoxeR. Oh, this is kind of a big map for doing any sort of Marine tank Banshee all-in or something. So I really wonder what he's actually planning for that. You don't see a lot of that 1-1-1, as people call it. I'm actually making air quotes in the air because it's only 1-1-1 colloquially. It's not the 1-1-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, the probe did sneak in there, by the way, and tried to see what was going on. He didn't see anything. BoxeR has kept all of his buildings kind of back far away, so he wasn't able to see the reactor going down or the factory going down. That's a really interesting situation. I wonder if he's going to keep the reactor on the barracks and go for Starport, or if he's going to go for Hellions, but he doesn't have really the gas for much else, so there's a command center.
Alright, so he's actually going to be going for a reactor to Hellion expanding. TVP, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I mean, that's not bad at all. You can put some pressure on with those Hellions. You can micro against Zealots. You can maybe even get in and kill a probe or two if you're lucky. You can do some scouting with it, but once the first Stalker is out, it becomes a little bit more difficult to do that. That's why we don't see it very often anymore. So he might just be doing this to get a couple Hellions out for a little bit of map control and then switching them back over and going into more Marine tank stuff. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw him do a Starport later on, but definitely a atypical TVP from Slayers BoxeR right now.
This is interesting. He made Hellions, and then he made a tech lab on his barracks, and then switched it back. So he's just made those 2 Hellions, and now he switched over into tank production. Yeah,
that's what I was just saying, is that he was going to switch him over and do that, probably add on a Starport, and then go maybe like Marine tank medevac possibly. But
I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out NaNiwa's build at the time.
I see. Just not listening to me, Moletrap.
You're right. I actually literally wasn't listening to you at that point. I'm sorry. I was looking at NaNiwa's base.
It hurts. It hurts bad. I'm like one of the soldiers from the original Halo game. It hurts bad.
Oh no, the Hellions getting in. Oh, he kind of traps them, but they might take some damage. Yeah, worse for the Hellions actually. Wow. That Stalker hadn't been there. Sentries might have taken some damage. That was actually really well played by NaNiwa. If that had gone a little bit differently, he could have either A, lost those sentries, or B, the Hellions would have gotten past the sentries and roasted some probes.
Yeah, that was really good. Got a kiss from a sentry. Mwah. Kind of tickles.
Tickles you to death.
That's right. Well, there is siege mode on the way for BoxeR, so yeah, he will indeed be moving into Marine tank. And he just started another command center. Wow, BoxeR getting a really fast third command center.
And look where he put it.
What in the world is BoxeR
He's hiding
doing?
It in the bottom right.
Whatever this is, man, I like it. This is cool. I'm interested to see how well it's going to work. NaNiwa's going to scout this with his observer, and he's going to be like, wait, what? Huh? Because NaNiwa, I mean, I know this from experience, he hates Marine Tank Banshee. Like, he hates it. There's no other way, no other word that describes it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got an expansion, and NaNiwa knows, well...
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's going to see that, and he's going to be like, oh, no! Then he's going to see the expansion, and he's going to be like, huh?
Yeah, NaNiwa's probably a little bit confused right now, and of course he has no idea about the extra base in the bottom right.
You know, BoxeR could actually be kind of faking him out here. He could just be getting the siege tanks for a little early defense. He's adding 2 more barracks on here, so we might see him actually go into a fairly normal mid-game. Nice snipe.
And
Nice
that was actually huge because he actually had not sent the observer into BoxeR's base yet. He actually didn't know.
What?
He didn't know what the building composition was in his base.
He
checked out his army.
Right.
He checked out his army first, which is important. He knows all he needs to know from the army, but he didn't actually know if there was a starport hidden back there.
Did he see if there was a expansion? Like, did he?
No, he didn't check the expansion either.
Oh wow. Okay, so NaNiwa just completely in the dark right now.
Yeah.
Has no idea. He is getting a Colossi though, so I mean he's doing something that would normally be safe, but he's gonna know that something is up because the timing is gonna come and go for that push, and it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I
think it's
coming out.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit late for some kind of Marine tank all in at this point.
That's when NaNiwa's gonna know that it's not that build. So yeah, BoxeR actually is going to be moving into just a reactor at Starport with Marine Marauder and Stim. So he's going into Bio after this, playing really tricky. But this is, typical BoxeR is atypical everything else. Another scan to see that observer, really good eye from BoxeR to be able to see those. They're kind of small, they're easy to miss.
Yeah, now NaNiwa has a lot better idea of what's going on in BoxeR's base.
Yeah.
Still didn't see the Starport technically, but again, you can imply things from the building composition that you see.
But NaNiwa's got to be confused though. I mean, seeing tanks and things like that, Marines, then later on the Marine Marauder medevac army is going to show up. It's going to be confusing. Plus, that push is going to be so much stronger with a couple siege tanks shoring it up from behind too.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that he does have a few SCVs and he's dropping his mules at that bottom base, which NaNiwa has no clue about. He thinks it's 2 base versus 2 base right now, and he's defending a 2 base push that's going to happen here pretty soon. Actually, BoxeR's really getting his economy going super strong. It's going to push out for a later push. Although, actually, look at this. BoxeR's going to have Stim, Combat Shields, and +1 all at the same moment with a couple medevacs out. He might push at that point.
I think there's a good chance BoxeR might try to drop as well. I don't think NaNiwa would be expecting it as much. And, up at the top of the minimap, we do see a couple little dots. Those are full medevacs going across there, so he is going to try to do that as well. Twilight Council and a Forge on the way for NaNiwa here. So he's doing everything that he should be doing right now. He's making as many units as he needs to be, but he's still, kind of relatively in the dark. He's in the fog of war.
He is indeed. It's a good movie, by the way.
Fog of War?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
It's a documentary about Robert McNamara's life.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Does he scan at any point to reveal an area for 8 seconds?
No, not quite.
Oh, okay. Oh, BoxeR drops to take out the pylon there.
But there is some talk about dropships, actually. Moving troops into the Asian theater of World War II. Yeah, very smart by BoxeR. He saw that his drop had basically been spotted, and he's like, all right, well, now the jig is up. I can't just stick around here. He picked up his medevacs and left, and now he's actually going back in. He's like, well, you thought I left because you knew I was there, but I knew that you knew that I was there, so I'm going to be back again, and now he might just lose his troops to those Colossus.
Yeah, he sees him and runs away. That's a good decision.
Very good decision.
Attacking into that is basically suicide. He might
out.
Range is not finished with those Colossi yet, it looks like. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they would have shot. One Marine got left behind to kind of keep an eye on things, watch for a third. Or maybe he just got left behind because they didn't care about him. One of the two. But BoxeR's got a lot of barracks out right now. He's got 5 barracks out. He's got medevacs in production. He's getting his upgrades. He's getting +2 weapons. He's getting +1 ship weapons. So he's going to be very, very well prepared for those Colossi. Up to 4 Vikings already. And NaNiwa just going basically speedlot Colossus, which is a very interesting composition against Bio. I'm not quite sure how well it's going to be because the Zealots are going to be causing the Bio to be stepping backwards, which is going to make it hard for the Colossi kind of get in there and hit them consistently. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. I mean, he's getting his Templar archives now, so that, you know, will help quite a bit to have Storm and things like that.
Well, here's the interesting thing is he actually has only 9 stalkers on the map, and I'm actually not even sure where they are. I'm trying to find them
they're
right
at the
now.
natural.
There they are on the natural stopping drops. Okay, never mind. But taking some fire.
Yep, he's gonna get away. It looks like just fine. There's no blink for those stalkers quite yet. Sacrificing a couple Marines there. And man, Medivacs are so slow now. Medivacs just seems slow. Remember when Medivacs were like really fast?
Did they change Medivac speed in the last patch?
No, it was a while ago. But I remember it fondly.
Anyway, all I was getting at before is that with not a ton of stalkers, actually he's added a few more. Yeah, he'll probably be okay. I was thinking about Vikings. If you can't pick off the Vikings fast enough, then it'd be a problem. BoxeR is up to 9 Vikings as well, so he's going to be able to take out the Colossi pretty quickly.
Storm and Blink on the way for NaNiwa, as well as +1 weapons. First couple Templar being moved in, and BoxeR having 5 Ghosts already. Those guys are going to be able to EMP the heck out of all those sentries. So BoxeR's composition is looking pretty good against what NaNiwa has at the moment. But, you know, if he waits too long, you know, eventually NaNiwa's composition is going to be a little bit stronger, and then it's going to come down to what I said before the game. It's going to be all about the EMP. It's going to be all about the spellcaster control. That's what a lot of late-game TVP comes down to right now.
Yeah. NaNiwa still has no idea about the bottom right base, by the way. He put pylons all around the map. He's got really good awareness, actually, although BoxeR's picking a couple off now. So he's thinking, like, okay, I know exactly what's going on the map. BoxeR's had this base mining at the bottom right the whole time that he has no idea about. Although they are both pretty much maxed, so it's not going to be a huge deal.
BoxeR's weapon upgrades are really good right now. He's getting +3 weapons already, getting +2 armor. His ships do have +1 weapons as well. And BoxeR's coming in to EMP everything. Nice EMP, sacrificing the Ghost to do it though. But with no shields, those Zealots are melting really fast.
The one thing he does not EMP is the Templar though, so he gets some good storms off on the army. The whole army is in yellow and orange right now. The Vikings pick off all the Colossus during the retreat. BoxeR's going to have to retreat as well because his army is very injured. Yeah,
he doesn't have a lot of medevacs to heal those right now. So dangerous situation for BoxeR as well. He might even just decide to land those Vikings. We'll see. BoxeR, your Vikings, man, they're sitting over Stalkers, but it looks like NaNiwa's more interested in taking out the bio. A lot of BoxeR's army not engaging there.
Very wisely, NaNiwa does not try and engage up that ramp, but BoxeR, his third base is now completely naked, and NaNiwa's just going to go over and kill it. He just dropped about 5 mules there as well.
Yeah, BoxeR making a run for it now. Doesn't want to lose that orbital command, but the Stalkers will blink in. Do a lot of damage to that.
Yeah, I think that orbital is going to go down. He's coming in, try and save it. Is he going to land the EMPs he needs?
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, he only has like 1 or 2 EMPs. He doesn't really use it. Oh, 1 EMP. Great EMP on those Templar, actually. NaNiwa immediately turning them into Archons. And BoxeR, you know, again, with not a lot of medevacs, he's healing some of those, but looks like he's going to be able to come out ahead. Yeah,
landing the Vikings as well. Making that Archons take it away. He's going to have to repair those Vikings up. But yeah, that 1 EMP was critical. He nailed all of NaNiwa's Templar. If he hadn't, that army would have gotten stormed to oblivion.
Well, he waited so long to do that EMP too. I mean, it was like the very, very last second. Wanted to make sure everything was in position.
Yeah, he almost lost his Ghost there.
Yeah.
But barely did pull that out.
Now BoxeR getting a little bit more aggressive on the map right now. He does have about a 60 supply lead on NaNiwa. So I have to see if NaNiwa can come back. +3 weapons is going to be done as well. 4 Ghosts in production for BoxeR. And he still has, you know, a decent amount of Vikings as well. So the Colossi are never really going to be a big factor in the coming engagements here.
Yep. A lot of the Vikings are low on health, so he's got to be a little bit careful with them.
Yep, that is part of it, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, NaNiwa hasn't really been able to refill his army that quickly. He does again have some more Stalkers. He's got some Templars, so he could theoretically take out the Vikings. But oh yeah!
Huh? Oh, here we go.
Do you see what I see, Noah?
Yep.
What's that in the production tab?
That is
a
nuclear missile.
Nuclear freaking missile, indeed. We're gonna see BoxeR have some nukes here.
Yep.
He's probably gonna You know what? Actually, I'm not sure what he's going to do. It's possible he could just use them tactically to try and force NaNiwa's army out of position or something like that. Or I think it's probably more likely he's going to sneak around the side and try and nuke the third.
Or it could just be like a BoxeR victory nuke too. He, when he feels like he's going to win in TvP, he tends to make a nuke and then just use it at the end of the game for fun. So we'll have to see what he has planned. We'll have to see Moltrap if the nuke's going to land on his army. I had to say it. I'm sorry.
We will see that. He does have personal cloaking for his ghosts as well, which is going to make those nukes so dangerous. And you know what? Guess how many observers there are on the map?
0.
Guess how many cannons there are on the map?
Also 0.
That is correct. NaNiwa has no detection. No detection at all for these cloak ghosts. What do you win? You get to see BoxeR nuking someone. That's what you
Hooray! Win. Oh, he's got cloak for the ghost as well, but there's no army there. BoxeR's like, wait a second. There's an army there before us. Oh, he's going to go in.
He's going to nuke.
And he's going to EMP everything, EMP the ghosts as well, but hey, that's okay because the Templar all got nuked. Some still had energy to storm. Vikings coming in, owning up on the Colossi. They're going to be a non-factor in this fight. It looks like, well, one of them actually does pretty well. Never mind. Those Vikings are still a little bit low on health. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, BoxeR. He actually got a little cocky with his army there. I think he overstimmed because his units were very low on health.
Well, he A-moved his ghosts, or not A-moved, he just moved actually his ghost right into the middle of NaNiwa's armor, and he had to EMP his own ghost because of it. So, just kind of a real misengagement by BoxeR there, unfortunately.
BoxeR does have a lot of Marauders. He's re-macroed up pretty well. So he's not quite going to die here.
Yep, for sure. And, yeah, so it looks like NaNiwa's going to be able to roll through this army. And, not much else to say, really, yeah.
More units coming from behind, though. BoxeR has just got such a good economy going right now that he's able to make so many units at a time. He's making 12 Marauders and 2 Marines at the moment, so he is going to fight off this attack, and actually, NaNiwa overextended, and BoxeR comes out ahead in supply after that.
Yeah. This game is just so back and forth, it's actually crazy.
BoxeR still has that nuke in stow as well.
I like this by NaNiwa, just making a ton of Archons right now.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep.
I love Archons.
I love Archons too. Although if you hugged one, I think you would disintegrate.
Probably.
I think so. It wouldn't be very...
But it might be worth it, man, to hug an Archon.
I don't know. It's like a one-time deal. I mean, you get your hug, but then you are like reduced to charred bones, so it's actually not that great after all. It's like one of those thrill-seeking things. You get like an Archon-proof suit and you go around trying to find Archons to hug. It's like this extreme sport now. I don't know. I read about it on the internet.
Archon hugging?
Archon hugging, yeah.
Is that like extreme ironing?
Oh, it's even more extreme than extreme ironing.
Oh, he's going to get the Colossus. He does. Oh, almost targets another Colossus.
And that's a lot of Marauders, but not a lot else right now for BoxeR. Is it going to be enough? Does he have any ghosts in that composition? I think he has 1 or 2 out right now. He has, yeah, it actually has 4 somewhere on the map. They're kind of interspersed. There's 2 more. They just spawned right now.
He needs to get his medevacs over to his injured units so they can actually heal him.
Yeah.
There he goes. A few Vikings out as well. So NaNiwa really not doing too much on the Colossus production, so he doesn't need a ton of Vikings. Sticking more to Templar. Again, though. Oh, now he does have observers on the map, actually. Does not want a repeat of that last situation.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at things. Both of these guys are maxed. It's actually become a very exciting TvP. BoxeR trying things a little bit unorthodox here. BoxeR scans and sees the army. Is he going to try to nuke? I think he might. Nope, there's an observer there. He has to pull the ghost back. Vikings getting a little bit crazy before they turn around. Both players about even on gathers, about even on bases.
BoxeR has a good concave, though.
Here we go. Archon's coming in to do some damage. EMPs on a lot of them, but is it going to be enough?
He EMPs the army, but not the Templar. The Templar moving in. He might be able to storm.
Oh.
Yes, he does storm.
Storm on all the bio. NaNiwa's 1 Colossus still alive and at very low health, but more Marauders coming in. And these are 3/3 Marauders. They're going to absolutely annihilate the Stalkers. And yeah, BoxeR looks like he's going to barely have to retreat from this forward base here.
He loses the orbital. Yes, he loses the orbital just barely.
Yeah.
And yeah, BoxeR, his His reinforcing units are going to push this back, but NaNiwa critically did take out that base. BoxeR is almost mined out at the right side base at the 3 o'clock.
So much stuff at once, so that's exactly what you need to do too.
He's pretty much mined out in the next minute. Well, he's essentially mined out in the bottom right. So that base was actually pretty important. Although NaNiwa he's actually almost mined out in most of his bases too. So this is going to be a really, really interesting game. It's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, no. How many warp gates does NaNiwa have right now? I'll have to check.
A ton.
Okay, good.
Let's see.
He's got enough warp gates to reinforce things.
And he's actually getting 2 more robotics facilities right now.
Huh. Maybe, he's probably just going to go really Immortal heavy because of the amount of
to respond to the Marauder heavy.
And Immortals do have that 6 range now. It makes a big difference. Here we go. Big Bioforce coming in. You can see just how fast BoxeR replenishes with the amount of barracks that he has. And that base is going to get insta-gibbed. And was insta-gibbed. And that's the interesting thing about a lot of late-game TVP. A lot of times you don't actually see the Terran make as many barracks as they really should be making. So this kind of shows just how fast you can remax if you do.
Yeah, BoxeR's macro has been stupendous this game.
Yeah.
Every time he loses a battle, I'm like, oh wow, he lost that battle, he's behind, and then I look at the supply and he's actually ahead in supply. Right now BoxeR's maxed, NaNiwa's just still trying to get up there. And I like how BoxeR, he knew that he had to do something to get back at NaNiwa. He's like, alright, you take out my base, I'll take out your base, and I'll float my other base over, so I'm actually going to be ahead again.
Hey, why not, man? And a little drop getting loaded up there. But, NaNiwa being a little bit dangerous with those Stalkers. Blinking back, though, just in time. Keep those safe.
And for BoxeR still has a nuke he can use as well. If we were to nuke that third base with, like, 70 probes at it, that'd be pretty good. 50 probes at that base.
Yeah.
Oh,
Night Storm.
But
it's on Marauders. Here we go. BoxeR's going to need to micro his heart out with this. Where are the ghosts? There are no EMPs. His army is split.
He's actually going to counterattack.
Yeah. And NaNiwa pulling back to try to defend it looks like.
Oh, NaNiwa being a little indecisive. Doesn't protect his own base and also doesn't kill BoxeR's base.
Yeah, but you know what? NaNiwa's composition is a lot more effective than BoxeR's right now.
True.
Pretty good.
Get an EMP in that middle clump. No, he doesn't get the EMP off the ghost. Dies.
And Storm on everything. I think NaNiwa may actually be about to take this game. I hesitate to say it just because BoxeR's macro has been so good, but he's looking pretty good. It's going to take out another orbital here, more SCVs.
Yeah, NaNiwa's been winning all the battles, and BoxeR's just been out macroing him. So it's really interesting how that's been kind of trading back and forth. Only not very many Vikings this time, so it's going to be hard to take out that one Colossus. 2 Colossi.
Looks like NaNiwa's going to go for it. Here we go. If there's any ghosts, now's the time to EMP, but he's going to tear through all these barracks instead. So many Marauders there, but in these narrow confines, Storm is going to be so effective. And there you can see it. Only a couple Vikings out every time. BoxeR gets close. NaNiwa just drops another Storm on him. NaNiwa is just in complete control of this game.
And here he comes in. This is the last stand for BoxeR. He's got a little bit better supply, but worse position. Storm goes off on his army, and he just sits there and eats it. And looks like just by pure firepower, he is going to push it back. But BoxeR has so many units in the red right now. Well,
NaNiwa had, more Templar, but they got towards the front, and BoxeR was able to get some snipes off him, and that changed everything. Suddenly, NaNiwa just had 1 Storm left where he had like 3 or 4 remaining. And just imagine what 3 or 4 Storms would have done to that army. I mean, if they all get selected there, you'll see all those Marauders are like in the red or low orange right now.
BoxeR, he keeps floating bases. He floated his main to that inside base. He floated his natural to that inside base. Now he's floating his third to that inside base. He keeps losing bases and just floating these extras over there. Pretty soon he's going to be floating his 4th at the bottom right up there. This has just been so close. Both players have been not able to spare a few hundred minerals to make a new base. NaNiwa just now remaking that top left base. He hasn't been able to afford it thus far.
Yeah, these guys have just been really even so far. I mean, NaNiwa's been winning a lot of the fights, but I feel like BoxeR's unit control has been just like slightly better in certain situations, but overall one of the closest TVPs I've seen in a long time. Either one of these guys could still win this. The supply is almost even up.
BoxeR's medevacs are so starved for energy right now. All of his units are still in the yellow. Because he's out of energy on all of his medevacs right now.
Yeah.
But again, BoxeR macroing up pretty well. Keeping his army count high. Still has that nuke. I'm really surprised he hasn't tried to sneak a ghost around and nuke NaNiwa's probes or something. And basically the way NaNiwa's been winning these battles is he keeps his Templar in the back until the engagement. He forces BoxeR to use his EMPs on the main army, and then he comes in with the storms. He's been saving his Templar.
Well, you kind of saw what happened when he didn't do that last engagement at BoxeR's base. That was the one engagement where his Templar did get a little bit too far forward, and he actually was pushed back pretty easily after the Templar got sniped.
Snipe his base!
Yeah, looks like he's going to be able to 3-3 bio and kills that stuff so fast. Yep, BoxeR gets it as well. And all the probes are coming off the line. Looks like the small force is going to be taken out very easily.
Nice little blink.
Yeah, no kidding.
You're about to say the same thing?
Yeah, I was. Well, you know, it was impressive. It was easy to notice.
So, I mean, that's how BoxeR's been staying in this game, is by staying ahead in economy. He's been consistently, if he loses a base, he takes out NaNiwa's base. He's been macroing up a little bit better.
Let's see.
I'm surprised no one's tried to take those extra unused bases just yet.
BoxeR still has that nuke, too.
Yep.
Can't forget about that for right now.
I wonder if he forgot he has it. Oh, feedback
nice
on one of the
snipe.
ghosts.
And feedback.
Traded feedback for a snipe.
Oh, BoxeR scans to take out the observer, and NaNiwa knows the ghosts are coming.
He should probably.
BoxeR cloaks, except for one of them. Oh, sniping the Templar.
That was his last.
Long range.
That was his last observer. He doesn't have anything to deal with these. Oh, there's a cannon there, though. He's walking right into the cannon. It doesn't matter. EMP's everything, but the Templar, though, still have storm energy.
Oh, NaNiwa just getting pushed back here. A couple Templar left over. Snipe just has such a long range, though. Storm going down on the bio. And can NaNiwa push his force back? Looks like he is for now.
Storming to push it back. That's all of his storm energy, though. Actually, he's going to have another couple storms when he recharges in about 20 seconds.
Well,
but
NaNiwa actually came out way behind on supply that time. He is about 24 supply behind BoxeR at the moment. So have things kind of shifted. NaNiwa really just hasn't been able to get a good mining base running. BoxeR keeps sniping it. You can see right now he's sending out another force at the top of the map to see if it's back again, because he knows if he can just keep NaNiwa from getting that base, he can keep the resources low enough that
the exact wrong moment. He does cancel it.
All right.
Thank
now
you,
we know.
300 mineral pop-up.
Yep. Legends like boxing around. He's like, look, look, see.
Yeah, he was just distance mining, and actually he's bringing his probes in to join his army right now.
NaNiwa's had enough. Wants to end it. BoxeR going down, taking a base on NaNiwa's side, naturally. Well, I guess that's kind of his side still, too. And, NaNiwa's still not too far behind on supply. Probes are in with this army, though. I don't know. The Zealots are kind of in the back. This is not a good engagement for NaNiwa at all.
He does have Templar, though, so he storms, forcing things back. Feedbacks the medevacs. Storms on the entire army. He doesn't dodge out of the storms, but will BoxeR just barely have enough?
And it's Archon time.
Oh, EMP's the Immortal, and BoxeR is just
look at that.
barely going to be pushed back.
Wow, and if NaNiwa can take out this base, that's a big deal. BoxeR again counterattacking in that other area as well, but losing so many SCVs, might lose yet another command center. Keep in mind, though, that BoxeR can replenish his units very, very quickly. He's already got like another 15 Marauders coming out or something like that.
BoxeR is mining and NaNiwa is not right now, so that's basically the story of this game. Is BoxeR, like you said, he's able to replenish. Exactly. He now has enough in his main, just barely, to hold off that last little force. So NaNiwa has to choose between going back to defend against this little marauding force, or there he goes. He finally finds BoxeR's mining base.
Marauding force, that's funny. They are marauding it up at the third right now. And BoxeR has no mining bases now. Neither of these players do supply-wise. NaNiwa just a little bit behind, but not by much. Not even 10 supply. BoxeR's going to lose that orbital as well. And yeah,
you know what?
What?
BoxeR has no orbitals. He has no command centers right now.
It is also currently two SCVs
and he has
to
two SCVs,
probes.
2 SCVs to 2 probes, And, but here's the thing. NaNiwa has enough minerals for a Nexus, and BoxeR does not.
Or you got the backwards there. BoxeR has enough for a command center.
Oh, you're right. I was looking at the wrong ones. I'm sorry. You're right. BoxeR does have enough for a command center.
But you know what?
Reversed.
So it's going to be like the DPS of NaNiwa's army versus the DPS of BoxeR's army. Now I'm getting it backwards. Versus the good composition of NaNiwa's army. Those 2 Templar and Immortals are going to help immensely. But BoxeR wants NaNiwa to attack up this ramp right now. He's like, all right, come at me, bro. You know.
Come at me, bro.
He wants NaNiwa to do it. Is NaNiwa going to? I'd like to see him go around and kill, you know, all the buildings he can right now.
Well, that's what BoxeR's doing. He's sending a drop around the top left to just say, all right, well, I'm going to send a few units to kill your buildings.
Oh, BoxeR just like walling off like crazy.
What else is he going to use the buildings for?
This game is getting a little bit weird, Moletrap.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's got a lot. He's got Immortals. He's got Archons. If he can keep those Archons back away from him while he fires at them, it'll be a really big advantage.
Oh, and BoxeR is making another command center, it looks like, too. Did he? Did he make another command center? I don't think he did. He spent the money somehow. It looks like he maybe just made some Marines. 14 Marauders, 8 Marines right now. NaNiwa can clean out this drop.
He's trying to kill
quite a bit.
Kill NaNiwa's Nexuses so that he can't distance mine with his 1 probe.
Yeah.
And is he going to get the last Nexus, though, before the Stalkers catch up to him?
I don't know. The Nexus is getting low.
So close. 300 hit points, 200 hit points, 150, 133 hit points left.
Wow. That was close. Wouldn't be surprised to see BoxeR send out another drop right away. No, he's just going to try to send some units to go down the sniper.
He doesn't have a medevac or the money for a medevac.
You're right. He doesn't.
That actually is huge.
He's still got a nuke.
He does still have a nuke.
But he doesn't have a ghost.
But he doesn't have a ghost, so, that's so sad that he doesn't have a ghost. Why did he spend his money without getting a ghost?
I don't know. There's not really anywhere he could mine, so...
Spellcasters.
BoxeR's going to send out stuff all over the map, and you know what? NaNiwa actually can't produce air units to go kill BoxeR's floating buildings. So that could be a bit awkward.
Well, but he has 1 probe distance mining.
Yeah.
So eventually, someday, he will be able to make an air unit.
NaNiwa's got to be really careful about doing this. He could lose those stalkers so easily. BoxeR may be baiting him into a trap here. This is a bit dangerous, yeah.
BoxeR's not really committing those, so he's just letting those stalkers take pot shots.
NaNiwa is blinking. The Archon's coming into the main. What is happening in the
that's his last probe, and he doesn't have the money for another probe.
And can NaNiwa kill this army?
Battle.
I think he can. NaNiwa has the units to do it. And there goes the last of BoxeR's army, except for a tiny bit down at NaNiwa's base. The last Nexus goes down.
Oh, you know what BoxeR's going to do?
What? Just lift off?
He's going to float in the corner and get a stalemate.
I think that's exactly right. That's BoxeR's actually going to win this game. BoxeR's going to win with a stalemate. There's nothing that NaNiwa can do to kill floating buildings. Yep, that starport right there.
Oh my
He's going to win the game.
gosh.
I can't believe it.
For a second I was like, oh, BoxeR can still... I'm sorry, NaNiwa is going to win this game, and I was like, wait.
NaNiwa knows it. Big smiley face. BoxeR's like, BoxeR's like, you know that I still win? So this could end up taking a little while, guys. We might be here. So Moletrap, the weather in Seoul is quite nice today, actually.
Yeah, it's cooled down a lot. It was a pretty warm summer, but
well, it's still relatively warm. It's warm for me, you know, the act of Wisconsin and Minnesota. But
oh well, it gets over 100 degrees Fahrenheit in my hometown Sacramento pretty regularly during the summer. So
it does in Minnesota too, believe it or not, where I am.
Really?
Yeah, I'm in southern Minnesota. Yeah, I think he's right. And yeah, NaNiwa
can't do anything but smile.
Oh no.
Wow, that is so epic. And BoxeR did go back in and snipe that last Nexus, by the way, at NaNiwa's main. He sent a couple units out there, somehow got over there.
BoxeR has 0 supply, but, you know, I mean, I suppose it will draw, won't it, at some point?
Yeah, no, this is 100% a draw. In fact, I don't know if,
All right. So
Wow.
Gonna leave first.
So
All right. So we're gonna see what
after
happens.
a 49-minute game, we are going to go to a regame.
It's gonna be a regame.
It's gonna be a regame.
This was, I believe, the first draw in GSL history. Actually, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The first draw in GSL history.
That was absolutely
Arena of Legends.
amazing.
Such an awesome tournament, guys.
That was a legendary game right there, man.
Awesome.
Wow. All right, so we're gonna get the new game loaded up. Oh man, I was gonna look at the stats from that game, look at the graphs and stuff, but it glitched out and I can't actually look at the graphs. Maybe because there was no winner in that game, so it wasn't recorded. But anyway, so as you can see there, the series is still tied up at 0-0 between BoxeR and NaNiwa. That was just an absolutely epic game, and I can't believe it just came down to the wire like that. There was a moment where NaNiwa had a chance. He actually had a chance to take the win because he defeated BoxeR's army, but his last mining probe, that one probe could have kept mining, and eventually he would have won because all he had to do was get, he would have mined for about 5 minutes and got enough for a Phoenix or something like that. And that would have been the end of the game, but BoxeR, he kind of knew that was the situation. He sent out a few extra units out onto the middle of the map and was able to get that last probe and that last Nexus, and that's all there was to it. So we're going to get started with the regame here in just a moment. It is going to be on the same map, Daybreak. It's usually how it works when there is a draw. You just regame on the same map. Terran versus Protoss, BoxeR versus NaNiwa. An absolutely epic game one. We're going to find out if they will continue the epicness in this regame here at the Arena of Legends.